Good morning, my dear friends. I hope the audio is clear. Is audio clear enough? Wonderful. Thank you. So welcome to day 4 of our breath by breath session, which is a step-by-step approach to breathfulness meditation or anapanasati meditation. We've learned the mechanics of breathing, and we've been practicing some steps that allow us to develop concentration, develop attention. So we'll continue that today. Today probably will be the last significant exercise for us to develop attention or concentration. And tomorrow we'll move into the awareness part. So before that, I know we practiced several techniques like the belly breathing, like breathing with attention, focus of attention, with your nose as the focus of attention. And yesterday we used the entrance to the nose or the nostrils as the focus of attention. Now, I want to know, so are you able to follow those steps in your meditation and then just do only that based on my instructions? If there are any issues, any questions, can you please type on the chat window? If you're able to follow, please type yes. If you're unable to follow, if you're still not able to focus or something, you can type no. People who say no, you should ask me what the issue is later, or type on the chat window. Very good, wonderful. So all of you are pretty serious meditators. You have come in with an intention to learn the effective method of anapanasati meditation. Wonderful. Thank you, friends. Appreciate it. So anytime you're not able to follow, please feel free to ask the questions following the meditation. Then maybe there are some tips that we can give to get things over there. Wonderful. Thank you. Good to know. So yesterday we saw one wonder of the breath, how the breath helps your body to get into the relaxation response, right? So today we will see the second secret or second wonder of breathfulness, how breath helps you. So being with your breath, being with conscious breathing brings the brain into synchrony. Yesterday we saw the nervous system. So today we're going to talk about the brain a little bit, right? I'm just going to focus on why being with the breath makes a difference to you, right? Yesterday we saw how it affects the body. Today we're going to see how it helps the brain. So most of us are aware there are 3 key parts of the brain. There is this neocortex, which is the outer layer. There is the limbic system, which is the kind of bluish purple layer you see in this picture. And then there is the reptilian brain. The reptilian brain, we will not going to focus on it. It's kind of the unconscious brain. The reason we call it unconscious brain is it does a lot of things automatically by itself. All our survival functions like heart beating, like our breathing, like a lot of circulation functions automatically keeps happening there, right? That is the oldest part of the brain. And then the blue part of it, the limbic brain, is the culprit, is the villain for most of the time when we have a lot of noise. I'll talk about it. And then the upper part of the brain is something that is more developed in humans. These 2 parts, the brown part and the purple part, is what highly developed in the humans. Whereas this red part is there in all living beings, all animals, because that is what helps them breathe, helps the blood circulation, helps them move, everything, right? So the neocortex, or the outer part of the brain, as some of you might know, I'm sure there are a lot of doctors also participating, so you probably know a lot more. For the sake of our understanding, let's keep it simple. There are these 4 key parts or 4 key lobes of the brain. There is this frontal lobe, which is the frontal part here, right? which is responsible for thinking, imagination, any conscious activity is in the frontal part of the brain. And then there is one part of the brain, parietal lobe, which is responsible for feeling, responsible for sensations. It's kinesthetic, right? It is responsible for movement. It is responsible for getting that sense of the body. So anything to do with motion, anything to do with movement, anything to do with sensation, touch, it's all about this parietal lobe. And then there is this occipital lobe at the back of the brain, which is more to do with the visual processing. Right? And then there is another part of the brain called temporal lobe, there's a typo there, which is responsible for sound and speech, hearing, auditory and speech processing. Right? So basically it's auditory, visual, and then there is kinesthetic, and then there is this frontal lobe responsible for the thinking and imagination. So the way it works is anyone who is more a hearing person, right, who works in an environment where there's a lot of sound, there is this part of the brain that develops more. And some people like dancers, people like sports people who have a lot of things to do with body movements, right, body sensations and all that, this part of the brain, the kinesthetic part of the brain, develops faster or has a higher part of the energy or the brain's energy. And similarly, anyone who keeps on seeing, as we continue to read, as we continue to do a lot of things visually, this is the part of the brain that kind of has the largest amount of energy, right? And then there is frontal lobe. So the last thousands of years, when man started developing, there is this new part of the brain that scientists have found, which is called the prefrontal lobe, which is responsible for the executive and cognitive. This is the part of the brain that tells what to do, what not to do to the rest of the brain. Ideally, that's how it has to be, right? But because of our limbic brain, which is the middle brain, something it's called midbrain or emotional brain. So limbic system is the emotional brain. Anytime you start judging people, anytime you start regretting, anytime you start fear, right? Fear, joy, happiness, most of the negative emotions, I mean, it's also responsible for positive emotions. Most of the negative emotions come because of the limbic system. But that is because it is tied to memory from the past, right? Memory, decision-making, emotional responses are all part of the amygdala, which is part of the limbic system. And there is the other part of the limbic system, which controls body temperature, it controls, regulates sleep, and then habit forming, memory. So all these are part of the limbic system. So this is what is the general function. More often than not, our limbic system is pretty active because that is what kind of gives noise, gives rise to all the chatter in the brain, right? So there is the prefrontal, there's the cortex, neocortex, which is responsible for all the things processing by the senses, and there is the limbic system, which is more the emotional part. So this is with that at the background. The second thing that happens when we are with the breath, when we are with breathfulness meditation, right? And it sometimes more often, which all types of meditation, is our brain waves slow down. I'll explain exactly how it happens. So initially, when we are thinking, when we are speaking, when we are conscious of things, our brain waves operate at a speed of X thoughts per second. You can assume it is, in this case, we put the count as hertz. So 14 to 30 thoughts per second, right? When you are very anxious, when you need to do, oh my God, time is 6 o'clock, I need to get ready, I need to get it to switch on the Zoom. That means your brain is operating at a very high speed. Anytime you're anxious, tensed, fearful, doubtful, right? So panic, all that is beta. And there is a high beta. And then the low beta and mid beta is the normal conscious function. Alpha is when the brain slows down, when the brain calms down, right? A lot of your waves in the neocortex slow down, and then it gets into alpha. When, for example, when you listen to music, when you are in a relaxed mode, you get into alpha, your brain waves slow down. And as you continue to be with your breath, we are using this calming exercise, right? We are using the focus attention exercise. Then slowly you'll get into theta. A lot of you would have got into theta if you did the calming exercise correctly. Today, again, we're going to do one more exercise. We get into theta. And then continuous focus on concentration, and then it moves into energy movements and all that is what is delta. right? So your brain waves slow down, slow down, slow down, slow down. So what happens is initially all the parts of the brain are active. All your neocortex, suddenly you feel the sensation here. This is the brain that tells you. Suddenly, when you keep hearing music, this is the brain that helps you hear, right? And suddenly you keep seeing lights, whatever it is the visual. Visual part is mostly shut down because we close our eyes. And then a lot of thinking happens because of this. Oh, I need to do this rest of the day. I need to do this. That is because you're afraid of what needs to be done, right? So all parts of the brain, the energy keeps flowing, neurons keep firing. That is how the brain functions. The neuron keeps firing throughout all parts of the brain, and that is what leads to mind wandering, all the sensation part of it. As we continue, what happens when we start concentrating on one part, right? Concentrating on the breath. I'm said concentrating, right? So when you focus attention on one part, slowly all the energy movement and energy flow starts focusing on this left-hand side part of prefrontal lobe. That is your executive function. That is your conscious part of your brain, right? So when slowly we stop doing all these things, all these thoughts, we are trying to give more energy. We are making the brain to focus, this part of the brain alone to function. When this part of the brain alone functions, all the remaining parts slowly start becoming silent. The neuronal firing starts slowing down, and that is what you see in this piece, right? When different parts of the brain start slowing down, your brain waves start slowing down, and slowly your emotional brain, the limbic brain, also starts slowing down. That is why your mind also starts becoming calmer. Got it? And this is what happens. I mean, all of you might have known the third eye part of it here. That is the prefrontal cortex. So the prefrontal cortex is responsible for emotional regulation. That's what, once you start focusing things in the prefrontal cortex, then everything else slows down. So your emotional response, yesterday we talked about the stress response, that all comes from this pink part of it. Everything becomes silent, and the only part that focuses is this part of it. That is what is the first step in any meditation, is concentration. Concentration happens here. In fact, it's not just meditation. When you're seriously reading a book, seriously watching a movie, right? And or seriously involved in some activity, you may not even hear someone calling you, right? And you can see with kids, when they are with the devices playing games, they don't even listen anything. They don't even feel hunger. They don't even feel anything pinching them. And parents keep calling them, and they don't listen. That is because all these other parts fall silent. The only focus that they have is here. Ideally, that is what we all should be having when we do our studies or when we do some focused work. In breath mindfulness and any mindfulness, the idea is to kind of uniformly distribute the energy across the complete part of the brain. So you are able to be mindful of everything, not just one part or not just this part, right? The way to do it is, first, we need to get this part of the brain to be in control. And then we are able to kind of become aware of all the sensations, right? So all these 3 days and today, we'll be going to focus on how do I make this part, how do I silence the remaining parts of the brain, including the limbic brain, and just be conscious of my breathing. Be conscious of the sensations in one part, right? So that is what happens to the brain, and when you are continuously with the breath. Your brain, you're trying to focus your attention, bring all the brain function to be focused on the front part of the brain, silence the remaining parts. Because of that, your brain waves become slow, right? And in fact, in deep sleep, you are in theta. Deep sleep also, the brain waves become very silent. And that is why some of you might feel, there are always these experiences. I go deep into meditation. Yesterday, I saw that comment. I don't feel my body, right? I don't feel space. So that is because this part of the brain, the part of the brain that is responsible for feeling the sensations, that this part of the brain that's responsible for feeling the difference between your body and the environment, right? That falls completely silent, right? And then sometimes in deep meditation, even if the music is playing, we don't hear, not just sleep. Right, that means this part of the brain gets completely silent. So that is how the whole thing's work. There is a reason for everything that happens during meditation, right? And there have been enough studies published. Some of you might have seen this. This is published in Mind to Matter book. So people, when they tested people, new beginning, new people who are meditating, after 8 weeks of breath mindfulness meditation, there are a lot of changes in the brain that happens, right? Including the 22% odd increase in the volume of the part of the brain responsible for the emotional regulation. Emotional regulation is basically where you do not respond, do not react to things, negative things immediately. So it increased the brain response time, it increased memory, improved behavioral capabilities. You see here, this is the front part of the brain that gets activated once you do this meditation. A more relaxed and energy efficient brain. That means all parts of the brain, energy flows, and then you are in control of the energy that flows. And all these changes in the brain in just 8 weeks in this particular research study with no drugs, no surgery, no supplement, just mindfulness meditation. Well, my dear friends, that is the magic of breath. The second wonder of breath, how it helps manage or helps control or regulate our brain. With that, let's move into our meditation for today. So today, as usual, we will start with 5 minutes of our relaxation part. What is our relaxation part? Okay, recording is being done. So what is the relaxation part? What do we do in relaxation part?
Recording in progress.
What is the technique we use? Can you type in chat window? Yes, wonderful. Equal breathing. So we do the equal breathing, equal inhale, equal exhale. Some of you have been practicing it for a while. Hopefully some of you have been practicing outside of the session. I mean, for example, you might have noticed me before I get into a session, before I get into a meeting, that is a quick relaxation technique that we can follow. Just close your eyes, just do equal breathing, and then a lot of relaxation happens and concentration happens. So we do 5 minutes of equal breathing, count to 3 and then count to 4, and some of you can count to 5 depending on it. Again, very simple, equal, no hard breathing. And then we move into watching for a few moments. You watch your belly breathing. I'll guide you for 5 minutes. And then we move into our focus like yesterday. We will focus on the tip of the nose or the entrance to the nostrils on the upper lip, like we did yesterday, right? So today, once you start bringing your focus to that, I said our breath cycle in the first day I showed you, there is an inhale, there is an exhale, there is an inhale, there is an exhale, there is an inhale, there is exhale, right? That is the breath cycle, and there is a gap in between inhale and exhale. So today, when we are out here, when you are focusing your attention on the entrance of the nose, closely watch the start of your inhale, end of your inhale, start of your exhale, end of your exhale. So this technique is called connecting your breath. Start, end, start, end, start, end, start, and closely observe. So when you start closely observing, then the remaining part of the brain becomes silent. You get to start focusing more. Mind wandering doesn't happen. Thoughts don't keep coming and disturbing. So occasionally thoughts and other things come in, but again, bring your attention back to your breath. Bring your attention back to connecting your breath, right? So I will guide you through that, but that is the thing. Again, if you're not able to connect, if you're not able to feel the inhale, exhale, that is okay. Over time, you will develop, but continue to keep your focus at the entrance to your nostrils. And again, do not force your breathing just because you are continuing to feel your start, and then don't throw to. So that is when you do that. So you don't do that. Just be with your normal breathing. You will find breathing happens. There is a start, there is an end, there is a start, there is an end. The game today is for you to find the start, find the end, find the start of exhale, find the end of exhale. So that is what is connected. As you continue to do that, you'll notice the gap. Maybe not today, for people who are beginning today. For people who have been doing it for a while, you can notice the gap. And then as you continue to observe, your breath becomes shorter, mind becomes calmer, and then all the magic happens. All right, my dear friends. So let's get into close to, I think we do have 45 minutes. So 45 to 50 minutes of wonderful, focused, calming mindfulness meditation. So sit in a comfortable posture. Cross your legs at your ankle, or if you're sitting on a sofa or on a floor, that's okay. Clasp your fingers, remove your spectacles, close your eyes. Keep your back straight. Do not strain your back. Relax your shoulders. Relax your eyebrows. Feel the ease in your body. And once you're comfortable, bring your awareness to your breathing and start equal breathing for 5 minutes. Just slow inhale. Count 1, 2, 3. Slow exhale. 1, 2, 3. No holding the breath, no deep breathing. Comfortable, easy, long inhales and long exhales. Just slow inhale, slow and easy exhale. Count in your mind. Inhale, 1, 2, 3. Exhale, 1, 2, 3. With this step, you are becoming conscious of your breath. You're getting your body to relax. Wonderful. Slowly increase your count. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. You breathe in and breathe out. Feel the movement in your stomach. Feel your body and mind relaxed. Continue to do the equal, slow, easy breathing. Now, with your body and mind calmer and relaxed, with that feeling of lightness, slowly get back to your normal breathing and move your attention to your stomach region to observe the movements in your stomach or abdomen area as you breathe normally and naturally. Relax. This step allows you to breathe the right way. Do not force your breathing. As you breathe in normally, feel and observe the movements in your stomach area. As you breathe in, feel your chest filling up and your stomach going out. As you exhale, feel your stomach coming in and your chest emptying, your lungs empty. When your mind is focused on one activity, then the chances of it wandering with too many thoughts is less. That is what we are doing. We are being with the breath, but we are giving the conscious mind an object of attention. Observe all the movements due to your breathing. Do not entertain any other thoughts. Now, my dear friends, slowly move your attention to the entrance of your nose. Move your attention to the entrance of your nostrils, the place between your upper lip and the nose. And start observing the breath at that area while you breathe in normally. First, become familiar with all the sensations at that point. Feel the tickling in your nose. Feel some sensations at the entrance to your nose as the air goes in and comes out. Just observe the entrance to your nostrils. No analysis, no judgments. Just like a torch light throws light on a specific point, we are using the light of concentration or focus on that particular point, which is the entrance to your nose, while we continue to breathe normally and naturally. Do not feel anything, that's okay. Do not force your breath. Now, as you become familiar with your focus at the entrance to your nose, start observing your breath closely and connect the breath cycle through your awareness. So notice the start of your in-breath, end of your in-breath, and immediately your out-breath starts. Breathe normally, then notice the end of your out-breath. Well, you can visualize a little bit on the cycle of breath, but what is important is you place all your attention to observe the start, the end, the start, the end. It is a cycle of life. Treat it like an awesome game where you try to find the start and end of your own breath cycle. This allows finer and deeper concentration to develop. Wonderful. Continue to follow your breath. Connect the in and out. At that point, which is the entrance to your nose. If you're unable to notice, that is okay. Continue to place attention there and start observing. Do not entertain thoughts. Do not entertain any other sensations. Do not observe any other movements, even the movements at your stomach. All your attention should be at the entrance of your nose. And complete focus on the cycle of breath. Start of inhale, end of inhale. Start of exhale, end of exhale. Continue to follow the cycle. Do not alter your breathing. Do not change your breathing. Do not force anything. As your brain calms down, feel a great, wonderful feeling of peace and calm. just be with your normal breath, with all your attention at the entrance to your nose. Observe your full, beautiful breath. Start of inhale, end of inhale, start of exhale, end of exhale. If you miss a cycle because of thoughts, when you get back your attention, you can restart the cycle again. You should feel only the entrance to the nose area. Breath happens there. Become absorbed in the cycle of breath. That is the only thing that should be happening in your mind. Observing the start, the end, start, end. Connecting your in breath and your out breath in your mind. With the reference point of entrance to the nose, it is easy to follow. Observe the endless cycle of breath for 15 more minutes. Do not force yourself, do not strain yourself. Relax your body. Observe your normal breath at the entrance to your nose. Continue to be with your breath at your nostrils, my dear friends. Be with the cycle of your breathing. If your mind wanders, which should be less, once you notice that, you can get your attention back to the entrance of your nose. Do not analyze, do not judge, do not follow any other sensations. Keep connecting your breath at the entrance to your nose. Wonderful, dear friends. 5 more minutes of consciously observing the connection between your inhale and exhale. Enjoy the experience of calmer mind, relaxed body, and focused attention. Normally, we are aware of the start of inhale and start of exhale. But here we're trying to find the end of inhale, then the start of exhale, and the end of exhale. We're trying to notice one additional point in each of your inhale and exhale. Last 2 minutes. Continue to be with your breath. You can relax and experience the peace and joy in your mind and body. Feel your body lighter. Feel your mind calmer. Bring a smile on your face if you need to. Enjoy the entire feeling. Slowly move your attention to your heart region as we move into the step of gratitude. With your attention in your heart and chest region, bring a sense of thankfulness. Be thankful and express gratitude for the experience you had during today's session. Then bring into your mind 3 situations, persons, or things that you are thankful for in the last 24 hours. Bring each one into your mind and say thank you in your mind to that person, thing, or situation. Feeling of gratitude is an elevated emotion. It's an energy with higher frequency. It attracts more of what you're thankful for. Now, express gratitude to all the beings, the world, and your lifetime here. With that feeling of gratitude and thankfulness, slowly relax your body. Become aware of the room you are in. Relax your legs. Relax your fingers. Relax your neck. And place your palms on your eyes for a few seconds and open when you are ready. All right. I hope it was helpful. I hope at least some of you were able to focus more time on observing the breathing, connecting the breathing. So as I mentioned, usually we are aware of the start of when you are aware of the in-breath and out-breath, start of in-breath and start of out-breath. But with this technique and exercise, we are trying to find the end as well. Start, end, start, end. Your mind will wander. The beauty of the technique is when you bring it back, you have a reference point where to bring your mind back and what to do. And over time, as you develop this concentration, you will let go of all the focus. So the focus becomes, towards the end of this 11 days, the focus becomes your entire body, and you will become aware of the entire breath cycle. Thoughts are fine, wandering is fine. That's the nature of the mind. But as we continue to practice with these techniques, you will be able to focus a lot more. All right, so let's take some questions. We have one question already from Mr. Vasu. Okay, let me unmute. Yes, sir. Mr. Vasu, please go ahead.
Good evening. Sorry, good morning, Master.
Morning, sir.
Yeah. So I have back pain and having trouble with keeping my back upright for longer time. Is it okay to, like, if I want to practice for like 40-50 minutes, is it okay to do it lie down also, or that is not, it's counterproductive or something?
No, it's not counterproductive. So you can practice lying down. So what we are trying to learn is the skill of conscious breathing, right? But the most effective is with your back straight. But you can have you can have some pillows or some support to the back as well, right? So you can you can lie down and do it. Only thing is you'll have to risk too much of relaxation or sleep, getting into sleep. But if you are in initial stages, you can all the practices you can do lying down as well, as long as you're trying to learn the skill of conscious breathing.
Okay. At least the relaxation part I can do it before starting the actual meditation.
Yeah, you can do that, and even this part you can try practicing, right? So you're lying down, you can start practicing. Once you get that, if you can sit, in that case, you can just your sitting meditation can be shorter because you'll get into that focus and concentration much faster.
Okay. And Master, like, are there any tips like for everything? I like it goes to the visual mode actually. Whatever I do actually, any tips to like slowly get out of that?
Yes, so we will get there in a couple of days. When you go to the visualization mode, to come back from visualization mode, start feeling the sensations, right? So, for example, visualization, most of it will be in this part, right? So immediately, I think tomorrow, day after tomorrow, we'll do that. Bring your attention back to your heart, right? Heart or any of your body part, and start feeling what the sensations are without visualizing. So as you start feeling, as you start getting more of sensations, then the visualization or the thought part comes down. Right. So initially it is it's common for people to start visualizing. Even today, when I said connecting the breath, people would have started connecting. Oh, there is a start and all that. But over time, it will drop off.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, sir. So let me just quickly look up some chat questions. It says, I have a question. Is it the breathing technique which helps us meditate, or the concentration to any part of the body? So we are trying to concentrate on the breathing. That is what we are trying to learn. So both the concentrating on the breath has the ultimate effect in breathfulness meditation. You can concentrate even otherwise, but that is only one part of it. Occasional thoughts coming in is okay. So mind wandering is fine. Thoughts coming in is fine. Over time it reduces, but that is what now you have an anchor to get back to. Pain in my left leg is increasing day by day. Please suggest. So pain in your left leg, please, you can feel free to relax your legs during meditation. You can just keep moving it. You can sit in a comfortable posture where you don't get pain, don't get bothered by your pain. In advanced stages, you can continue to focus on the pain. In fact, instead of focusing your breath here, you can continue to focus your breath on the pain as well. You can try that as well. So you couldn't track the end of inhale and start of exhale. Please continue the practice, madam. You'll start getting into that focus. You'll start finding it. That is there. As our awareness increases, as an attention increases, you'll start finding it. My focus gets distracted very frequently. Will this end someday? Will I be successful in focusing continuously? Yes, of course, Mr. Ranga. Yes, definitely. So these are all the aids for you to continue doing it. It's just like no one can become a world-class singer on by practicing a few days. So it will happen. Our mind will calm down. Okay, so let us take Mr. Rajesh, sir. You can unmute and ask a question, please.
Sir, my question is that when you say that you have to feel the start of the inhale, then end of inhale, and then again start of exhale and end of exhale, and also simultaneously focus on the part between the below the nose. So this is too fast. I mean, how do you, because there's hardly any gap between the start end. So and then it becomes very mechanical. So is that okay that it becomes very mechanical?
When you say mechanical, are you saying we're forcing the breath or altering the breath?
No, I'm not altering my breath, but everything happens so fast. So it is like it's happening in a rhythm. So it is like more of a mechanical act.
Yes. So we are trying to get tuned to the rhythm of our breath, right? So as long as you're not visualizing it and just noticing the breath, the reason, again, it's all simultaneous. It's not a start, end, and then observe the sensations here, right? So there's no sensation. We are trying to observe the start and end at this point. That is all, right? It is the focus is here because anyone can observe the start and end in their stomach, in their lungs, in wherever they are feeling, right? In this case, we are just following the breath or observing the breath only as you inhale and exhale. And as you inhale, you're starting noticing when it is starting. When before we exhale, we are starting the end of the inhale, and then you start off the exhale. So that's a continuous process here. Yes, it is fast because there is not much of a gap, and we are trying to observe that rhythm, right? Start, end, start, end, start, end. And you continue to practice for a long time, it will get you'll get that feeling. So that feeling, it is not just visualization, like someone mentioned, right? It's not just visually doing it. Though in the beginning people tend to visualize, and there is another technique for some of you. There is another technique called labeling, where you can initially, when you can think in the mind, start, end, start, end, start, end. So you can do that and then let go of the labeling. That will also avoid mind wandering. But we are observing, instead of observing the breath anywhere, this time we are observing the breath at the entrance of our nose.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. So there's another question here. Today, my focus was shifting often between the tip of the nose and trying to observe the start and end points. Yes, I think very similar to this question. I couldn't deeply focus on one thing, unlike yesterday when I felt I could focus more. When I observe start and end, should focus still be on the tip of the nose. Okay, so these two are different things. Like that's what I think Rajesh sir also alluded to it. So it is not that you observe start, end, and then tip of our nose, start, end, tip of our nose. No. So so yesterday we tried this. Maybe tomorrow we'll focus on that tip of the nose a little bit longer. So focusing on a tip of a nose is one thing. That's what we did yesterday. And then for some of you, you're finding it comfortable doing it, you can continue doing it. But at some point, definitely you'll have to come to full focus on the breath, right? So yesterday we zoned in on the location. Now, today at that location, we are observing what is happening. That is all. And tomorrow, 2 days later, we will observe, because of the breathing at that particular point, what is happening in the rest of my body. That is feeling the sensations. So, so feel free to adjust, feel free to pick a point where you like to focus on. If you're finding it, focusing on the tip of a nose without observing the start and end is fine, as long as you're with your normal breath and you're focusing on the tip of your nose, that is fine, that develops concentration. Next level of developing concentration is finding the start end, because you're minutely observing the start and end. So that's the next level, greater degree of concentration. Right? These are all techniques to build up the concentration. If you are comfortable with one, please go with that. And in 2 days from now, we'll start learning the technique of awareness, which is feeling the sensations, right? Breathing, the sensations due to breathing happen throughout the body. There again, we'll start with one part and then slowly expand our awareness through the rest of the body. So do not alternate between that, just one. Breathing stops of itself, is that okay? Yeah, if you're aware of that, if it is not causing unease, you may not, that means you are getting into a deeper state. So breathing continues, but your awareness of your breathing probably stops. Yeah, so physical and etheric bodies, I don't want to bring concepts. Let's just focus on the practice. That's more important. So yes, there's a question from Mr. Manjunatha.
Sir, namaste.
Namaste, sir.
I'm from Shimoga district, sir. I'm suffer from anxiety from last 2 years. Anxiety, depression, and only negative thoughts are arriving in my mind. Sir, how can I control, sir? How can I overcome this?
Yeah, so just follow this practice of breathing consciously. Follow the practice of breathing meditation, restfulness meditation. right?
Yes.
So as I said, there is a lot of science behind it, as I showed in the beginning. So it reduces, it silences that emotional brain that gives rise to all the negative thoughts, right? So there is science behind it. You continue to practice, you focus the way that we are doing, and then over time, your brain starts calming down, your negative thoughts disappear, and your anxiety disappears.
Sir, any personal training in Kannada, sir?
Yeah, there are Kannada sessions, sir. PMC Kannada ನೋಡ್ಬೋದು ಸರ್.
Okay, sir.
ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಪಿ ಎಂ ಸಿ ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ತುಂಬಾ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಸೆಷನ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ,
Ah, sir.
ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡ್ಬೋದು. ಓಕೆ,
Okay, sir. Thank you.
ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು. All right. So any more questions? Again, I think the Telegram chat PBI t.me/PBI_breath is the Telegram channel. I think I forgot to put that URL. Any questions that you get offline, please feel free to post there. And as again, today, please practice this exercise. Anytime you are sitting idle, just see what is happening in your nose region as you continue to breathe. And then as you do that, see where else do you feel the sensations as you continue to breathe, right? In your normal breathing, when you're conscious of breathing, when you're not doing anything idle, just sit. And then as you breathe, notice where are in the different parts of the body you feel any sensations, right? Any lightness, anything that will help us in our subsequent exercise. All right. So wonderful, my dear friends. Hope it was a good practice, and we'll see you tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. Have a nice day. Thank you very much.
सर मैं हिंदी बोल सकती हूँ सर?
तो हाँ मैडम, बोलिए.
हिंदी?
हाँ, हिंदी बोलिए.
अच्छा, मैं नेपाल से हूँ, अभी बेंगलोर में हूँ ना. ये आनापानसती मैं 25-30 साल से कर रही हूँ विपस्सना, लेकिन मुझे वो पिरामिड के विषय में जो यूट्यूब में देखी हूँ वो मुझे पता नहीं कहाँ मिलेगा, कैसे मिलेगा. मुझको उसको मुझे जानकारी चाहिए सर.
हाँ, आप बैंगलोर में है ना?
हाँ जी.
हाँ, तो इसी को pyramidvalley.org, पिरामिड वैली है बैंगलोर के कनकपुरा रोड में.
हाँ जी.
ठीक है. सो अभी अब मैं वही हूँ. सो पिरामिड वैली वो जगह अब देखिए, वेबसाइट में भी है pyramidvalley.org. अभी किसी को वेबसाइट देखेंगे तो उसका जगह पता चलेगा, गूगल में सर्च करेंगे तो जगह पता चलेगा. और उसका बस ट्रांसपोर्ट है, कार लेके आ सकते हैं, गाड़ी लेके आ सकते हैं. सो पिरामिड वैली आ जाइए. तो इधर एक बड़ा पिरामिड है, पिरामिड के अंदर रोज 2 घंटा ग्रुप मेडिटेशन हो रहा है, तो आप उसमें शामिल हो सकते हैं. और इधर अगर पिरामिड खरीदना है तो भी एक स्टोर है.
अच्छा, मुझे वहाँ जाके भी मेडिटेशन करना है. वो मैं सरजापुर रोड पर हूँ, कितना दूर है यहाँ से?
उधर से करीब 40-50 किलोमीटर है. 1 घंटा, 1-1.5 घंटा लगेगा.
अच्छा, ठीक है, मैं कोशिश करूंगी सर. थैंक यू सर. ओके.
Recording stopped.
you Welcome to the Pyramid Valley International, Bengaluru, India. The pyramid is meant for meditation. It has got the high energies. Enjoy the high energies of the Maitreya Buddha pyramid and the serene circumstances of this valley. Spiritual science is the basis for all other sciences. In spiritual science, we understand that we are all gods, come here of our own accord onto this earth planet to see that the earth planet becomes a heaven and not a hell. How we can transform this hell into a heaven, that is the subject matter of spiritual science. And masters of spiritual sciences are the experts in spiritual sciences. Meditation is the doorway for enlightenment. Enlightenment is the doorway for welfare, health, wealth, well-being, and joys in life. Meditation is the foundation of spirituality. Spirituality is the superstructure built on the foundation of meditation. Everybody should dedicate a couple of hours every day for meditation. Every day, as we dedicate our life to meditation, we become a source of inspiration, joy, energy to everybody around, everything around, every being around. We emanate energy. We want to see the whole world become a joyful place for every being, every animal being, every plant being, every mineral being. That is the duty of every human being, to provide joy and energy to every other being.